Alright, welcome back to creating a cyborg in Photoshop. This is part 17, this is the last one. So this all has to do with compositing. So I have a hue saturation adjustment that I'm doing, a levels adjustment for each of the main layers, the cyborg, the cat. And by doing this, what happens is you basically slowly sort of bring the image together. Adding a little bit of saturation to the background matches the more saturated version of the cyborg. And so I desaturate cyborg. Right there I added what's called a cloud filter. So you just go filter, render clouds, and then I masked it completely and then just paint in where I want it to be with a soft brush. Gives a really cool sort of smoke atmosphere sort of quality. And apply another one sort of in the foreground. So what I'm going to do is essentially give this sort of colder feeling. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like snowing, but definitely want this desolate sort of quality. And now I'm going to start painting in some LED type lights and determine to add some more lighting effects to the cyborg. So that's where this sort of cyan blue is coming in. And basically when you paint with that, you just paint with linear dodge add or the color dodge mode, and it gets brighter and brighter depending on which color you choose. But it's pretty easy to do. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing here, and doing a little bit in the back with the arrows too. Doing an overall levels adjustment for everything, and then I compress all the layers into a merge duplicate by hitting Control Alt Shift and E together. It's a cool little hotkey, and then basically then I can use the color dodge and color burn mode to add highlights and shadows directly on the entire canvas wherever I want. So that's what I'm kind of doing right here. Adding a little bit of the extra glue, a little bit of highlights, just kind of moving around, and a little bit in the shadows. And you have to be real sensitive with this when you do this. You want to have it around 30-40% opacity. And then what I did is I made it into a smart object and add a levels adjustment. And just further manipulation here. Basically I'm inside the object right now, adding the lights and darks, and then ultimately I added a blur filter. What that allows me to do is blur out edges of the cyborg or edges of the cat so that not everything's in complete focus. And that was really important for me to do. Because the rest of the image, if everything was in focus with the figure and the cat and then the rest had some areas of blur, it wouldn't really match up. It needs some sort of depth of field action to imitate a camera effect. Now, one thing I didn't put in here was the grain filter. I would add as a top layer at the very end, and at the very end also, I usually sit on the image for a day or two and do some final tweaks, but overall, it's I would say 99.5% pretty much done by the end here. There is one thing I do. I start to burn in a little bit of color into the eyes just to give that little sci-fi quality that there's more illumination. I did it with the cat too. I was thinking maybe the cat's cyborg, or maybe it's just real. Who knows? And then adding a little bit of glow to these tips on the bow. I thought it'd be kind of cool to match the arrows. And then finally add lightning to illumination once I burn in some of the background and dodge between the legs and the forearm. And it's really easy to do. All you gotta do is create a new layer, choose white as your color, and then add an outer glow effect, and by double clicking what's a layer style effect, and then just tweak it a little bit, and pretty much that's it. You got lightning. With pressure sensitivity pin tablet, it's really easy to do. And then afterwards I merge layers and just again add a little bit of burn or color dodge action to brighten certain areas and give a little bit more brightness throughout, so it looks more reflected. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed seeing the whole project. Basically I run down the entire cyborg process. Cheers!